Hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Lisa. This is Finley Place. And today we're going to make some pasta using sourdough discard. Okay, so you're only going to need 3 ingredients for this recipe. And it's 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of sourdough discard. You can use either the discard or the active sourdough, whichever one you want. I prefer to use the discard because I have a lot of it. And 2 large eggs. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour our flour out like so. If you've ever made noodles, it's pretty much the exact same way. And then we're going to make a little well like that. We're going to take our eggs in there one at a time. Like so. Okay. Oh, they're running away. And we're going to add our sourdough starter. And then we're just going to get dirty. So I just want our flour to be moist. A nice moist flour. Get all this incorporated. One of these doohickeys come in handy. They really do. When it comes to making doughs and batters, things like that. Okay. There. Now we're going to get our hands a little dirty. We're just going to put all of this together. This is a really good way to use up some of your discard. I know some people throw theirs away. I personally do not. I save every little bit of my discard. I got some left. And I like to make pancakes out of them too. There's lots of different recipes to use your sourdough discard with. You don't have to throw it away. You can just put it in a little jar and stick it in the fridge. That's what I do. I have like 3 jars of it right now. Just add a little smidge more flour. Just keep it from being quite so sticky. And there we have a really nice little dough. Then we're going to take some saran wrap. And we're going to wrap it up very tightly. Just as tight as you can. Like so. Okay, so there's your dough. And now we're going to pop it in the fridge and we're going to let it set for at least an hour. You can let it sit an hour, 6 hours, 8 hours, overnight, however long you'd like, but at least an hour. You want it to sit in the fridge and rest. I'm going to make some pasta sauce from scratch. These are tomatoes that I froze from this past summer, and that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to drain these out real quick. Okay, so what I got is a little food mill thingy over a bowl. And my tomatoes. And because I froze them, I don't have to blanch them or anything. So we'll just run them through the food mill real quick and then put them in a pan and we're going to let them cook. All right, so all you gotta do is just take them like this. Take a couple. And just run them through the little food mill. You don't have to skin them. You don't have to blanch them. Nothing. It's kind of nice about freezing them. And I just do mine a couple at a time. All right. I like to take a rubber spatula and just get all of that off the bottom. I like to just kind of hang out there. As you can see, I run them through pretty good. Make sure I get all that juice out. And so now you have yourself a nice little tomato juice. I just got a stainless steel pan. I'm just going to pour this in here. If you don't like it pulpy, you can just run it through a strainer and get all the pulp and whatever out of it. I'm just going to cook it down. What I like to do is add about a tablespoon of salt. Maybe not quite a whole tablespoon, maybe like 3/4 of a tablespoon. Just kind of put it in there. And give it a mix. Then I put it on a very low heat. On my stove is like a 2. And we're just going to let it sit there and cook. Depending on how thick you like your sauce, might cook just a couple hours. If you like it a little more soupy or juicy, I like it a little thicker, so it'll probably cook a good 3 or 4 hours on like a low 2, between a 2 and a 3 heat, no more than that. And I just let all the water cook out until it gets as thick as I like it. Okay, so our dough has been in the fridge for about 5.5, 6 hours, right around there. And now we're gonna make some noodles. So we're gonna unwrap it like so. And that's what our dough looks like. Very pretty. I'm gonna get some AP flour, all-purpose flour. We're gonna put it down. I'm gonna cut this in half. We're gonna flour the table really well and our rolling pin. And then we're gonna just roll this out. If you had a little machine, pasta maker machine, that would be really nice. Make it as thick or as thin as however you want your noodles to be. About a 1/4 inch, I guess, is pretty standard. I'm going to take a really sharp knife and I'm just going to cut them. I'm going to take that off. Like that. And take it. You can use a pizza cutter. Pizza cutter would probably be a lot easier than this paring knife, but I just don't happen to have a pizza cutter, so you just use what you got. Make the best of it. Try and keep them as uniform as possible. Now I don't have a pasta rack to dry my pasta on, but what I have are these metal hangers. I washed them and wiped them down with some rubbing alcohol real quick. So I'm just going to take my noodles. They need to dry on both sides for like 30 minutes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, hang them on this so that they can dry. Just like that. I'll let them hang there for like 30 minutes. Okay, so we'll let those dry for about 30 minutes and then I will put them in a pot of boiling water that has been generously salted. Okay, it's been about a half an hour now and our noodles should be nice and dry, or dry enough to cook anyway. And I got a pot of water boiling. It's at a rolling boil right now. It's got a lot of salt in it, so we're going to go ahead and put the noodles in there and let's see how well they come out. That's what they look like after a half an hour of drying. That's what they look like. All right, let's plate them up, see what we got here. That's what we got going on so far. Meat sauce on there. That's what my meat sauce looks like. You can't have a pasta meal without some crusty bread, so I made a loaf of bread earlier. And that's my sandwich bread. Okay, so this is what everything looks like. Got our sourdough discard pasta. Got some homemade pasta sauce from tomatoes from my garden this summer. And some homemade crusty bread. So I really want to try these noodles out. See how well they came out. Very hot. Mmm. Very good. It tastes kind of like an egg noodle, like a thick kind of egg noodle. Um, it has that distinct sourdough flavor to it. It's very good, really. I would say it's definitely worth it. I would say definitely a 9 out of 10. With the pasta sauce I made, I used tomatoes that I thawed out from the freezer and I ran them through the food mill and I put them in the pan and I put a generous amount of salt in there, almost a tablespoon of salt, and I let them cook down for about 2 hours. I diced up a whole onion, 3 cloves of garlic, about a tablespoon of oregano, about a tablespoon of basil, and about a tablespoon of sugar. and I let it cook down for another 2.5 hours. And I did not add salt to it when I added all the flavors because I had added so much salt to it before, and I thought, just salt it if I needed to, and I don't. I don't need any more salt in it. And the noodles, man, I let them cook about 5-ish minutes or so. So if you have sourdough discard, I would definitely try this recipe. Definitely. It's very good. Very simple, a little bit time consuming, but not bad. Not bad at all. Really, it's more wait time than it is like cooking time. Yeah, I would say that's definitely like a 9 out of 10. It's very good. Make sure you eat it with some bread. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.